10 years ago, someone said something to me that made my whole view of how I live my life change. I want to tell you what those 3 words are. I'm Jackie Wolven, and on this channel, I help people love where they are, and on Sundays, I paint from the studio. 10 years ago, I went on a 7-day, might have been 5-day. It was long, silent retreat with a Zen teacher from Hawaii. And during that time, I knew that I would be working towards my next step in my Zen journey. I have been sitting Zen meditation for years, and I had thought, well, I'll do what's called Dharma transmission, which is basically just saying, I'm going to take the Bodhisattva vow that says, I'm going to stay here in this realm until everyone reaches enlightenment, which, is a big vow to take. And I did take that vow, and but that was not the big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, I guess, in Buddhist circles, but that was not the big deal. The big deal was when she said 3 words to me. She just looked at me and said these 3 words, and I have kept them with me all this time. Let me show you. It's all practice. All of it. It was such a stunner that when she said it, it just literally blew my mind. And what she meant was not sitting on the cushion as practice. That is a practice. We call it meditation practice. But all of it, all of life is a practice. So it's a practice in the way that I do my work. It's a practice when I'm gardening. It's a practice in my relationships. I'm practicing. I was raised in a way that said that you had to be perfect out of the gate, which, as we know from Carolyn Dweck, is a fixed mindset. My parents had the belief that if you weren't good at something at the beginning, you should just stop doing it. And I was raised to think that. In fact, a lot of us were. So if you weren't good at math or drawing or really anything, sports or a musical instrument, you should just stop because you were never going to get good. You should have been good at the very beginning. That's a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is that you know that you can grow into something. There are possibilities. You can get better. You can practice. And it was those words, it's all practice, is that I felt like, oh, I'm just learning the whole way. I'm just learning. I'm learning how to be in relationship. I'm learning how to work and do the work that I do. I'm learning how to do a hobby. For me, that's painting. For you, that might be something else. I am learning. And when I'm practicing, I'll get better. And maybe I'll never be perfect, but that's not the point. The point is the practice. And when I look at it let's say you have a bad meeting with someone, like it didn't go well, it didn't go the way you wanted it to, for sure. I just think of that as, oh, well, what can I learn from that? That was a practice. How might I do that differently? And every time I'm always thinking I'm just at practice. It's funny, I didn't grow up in a sports family. And so I didn't play a lot of sports, but they practice. The people who are at the Olympics, who are the top of the world, are practicing. They don't stop and say, well, I'm so good. When I get there, I'm just going to do my event and I'm going to get that gold medal. No, they are practicing all the way up until they are doing the actual event. And then when they're done, they practice more because you can always get better. And that idea can change everything about how you view what you're doing in the world. And I encourage you to find a way to just make it all practice, all of it. Your parenting, the way you talk to someone, how you plan something, All of it is just practice. And we're doing it out loud in front of everybody. And that's the beauty of it. It also allows you to give grace to other people. Once you realize that you're practicing, then you can easily let someone else practice too. They may not get it perfect the first time. They may not get it perfect the 12th time. They are practicing just like we all are.